So this morning I'm going to do a bed flip in the garden. Swiss chard. It's still growing good, but it's coming out. It's not selling real well anymore at the farmer's market. So I'm going to get rid of it and put a fresh layer of compost down, and then put in some lettuce. That's what's on the agenda for right now this morning. Today's going to be a pretty busy day, but this is the first thing on my list to do. So I want to show you how I flip the beds. And I do not pull the plants, I just cut them off at the ground level. Then I'll go through with the stir hoe and clean up whatever little bit of weed remnants there is, and then I'll put a fresh layer of compost down, and then I will put lettuce seeds in. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, but I'll show you how we do it. Alrighty, so first thing, so got your little basket there. See, these here are still nice and healthy. There's nothing wrong with these plants. I personally ain't a big fan of them, and they don't sell real well at the farm market. We sell some here and there, but there is nothing wrong with them leaves. They're still good. In fact, I don't know, it's all right, but it's kind of, to me, it's kind of weird. So this here's a rice knife. I got this from Permapastures Farms. They work really good, especially to cut the plants. And I'll cut these down right at ground level. And I always let the roots in the soil. I never take them out. In fact, you can still see corn stalks in there from last year. This spring I never had enough compost this spring. This bed here didn't get any compost in it. Absolutely none in this bed. This whole garden I didn't put any compost in, but I had cover crops in there. I had cover crops in it, and then just put the chickens in towards the end of the season. Alrighty, so I had my mic turned off. I was getting pretty far away from the camera, so I figured I'd turn my mic on so you could hear me. So, like I was saying, I didn't have any compost to put in this bed, in this garden last year. So I didn't put any in it. Just cover crops, and then the chickens in the spring. And the soil in this garden really isn't that terrible. But that's just the way we grow things. Makes it like that. And a lot of these leaves and stuff, if there's still leaves and stuff down there on the ground, I'm not going to lose a whole lot of sleep over it. But these dandelions I do want out, if I can get them. So weeds pull out pretty good. I don't know if you can see that or not, but when you don't till your soil stays pretty friable. And the chickens are going to love their breakfast this morning. These rice knives are worth their weight in gold. I can't remember what I paid for it, but as you can see, it makes really small work of these, cutting this down. And I've used this thing here, got it last year, and I've used it a lot. In all honesty, there ain't a whole lot of weeds in here. I don't know, I'll probably still get my stir hoe out and just pull out what I can. I'm not going to worry too much about them. They're pretty, yeah, Some of them's pretty bad though. Most of these grasses, and I don't know what kind of grass this is, but of course this is in the walkway. But then the chickens will not necessarily eat the grasses, but they'll pick through them and whatnot. That's really the only thing I worry about taking out by the roots is the grasses. The dandelions and that, I'll cut them off. They'll do what they do. I'll chop them off enough, and then they'll quit coming back after a while. So now I'm going to take this down and feed it to the chickens. And then grab my stirpo. I'll set you up here. And these little ladies will go crazy here in a second. They love their greens. And they'll sit there and eat on that for a good while before they quit eating. So she's usually about this time in the morning she brings out some scratch for them. I don't know that she will today or not. I would assume she would. But so that's pretty much the end of that. So now I need to go through and on the ends of the rows I have string. Or I mean not string, but I have rebar drove into the ground at the end of each row. Right there. That's the row width and that's the walkway. Hopefully you can see what I'm pointing at. Yep, you can. So I'll just take my string and go down to the other end, down to the far end down there, and mark this out so I don't get compost in the walkways. I don't need to compost the walkways, just the beds. I would chip the walkways in this here sometime before winter, but it's not a real big rush to get that done either as far as that goes. It definitely helps with the soil life and water retention. Alright, so Friday evening somebody come and just dumped a big mountain of compost in our yard, and it's just like, you know, amazing. So actually what this is, it's mushroom mulch is what it is. It's just leftover from a mushroom farm. I don't know where it actually comes from. I asked the driver where it actually came from, but he didn't know. Well, I'm sure he knew, but he wouldn't tell me, which is fine. I'm not going to go to a mushroom. There ain't none around here, so I wasn't going to go to a mushroom farm anyways to get the compost. So that was out of the question for me anyways, as far as that goes. Maybe you up here a little bit. That's 15 yards of compost delivered. I really didn't want to have to buy any, but I really didn't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. So I'll probably use one, maybe two wheelbarrow loads in that area. The bad thing about the compost down here where it is I got to push this wheelbarrow uphill the whole way to get to that patch of the yard or garden. This is down across the road from that garden. That's the small garden. I need to put a tarp over this so it quits off gassing the nitrogen. I want to keep as much of that in there as I possibly can. But this is definitely some good stuff, and I've used this before. We've bought, I think this is the third or fourth time I bought compost from that same company. They're out of Cumberland. They're fairly local. I think they have I think it's like a $50 or a $70 delivery charge, which isn't bad. I can't run down there 500 times to get this much and shovel it off for that price, so I don't have an issue paying for it. And this here isn't free either. I got to buy this. It's, I think, $30 a yard. It's still pretty warm though. Once you get it on the ground and spread it out a little bit, it'll be all right. Only thing bad about it, right there's a rock in it, which isn't a big deal for a rock to be in there, but Sometimes I've found trash in it. Last time I bought it, I should have bought it last fall and never. I was hoping I could make enough compost, but I couldn't. So I need to push the wheelbarrow up the hill. I'll probably need one more wheelbarrow load before it's done and over. So I want this to be about, excuse me, roughly an inch or so deep. And it ain't got to be perfect. I'll probably need one more wheelbarrow load to get me to the end. Alrighty, so I probably got a little in there a little thicker than I need it to be, but too much is never enough, so to speak, on compost anyways. So we'll see how we end up. Definitely want to help the carrot, or the carrots. Probably would them too, but definitely going to help the lettuce grow. We should get, once I get this spread out and the carrots, or the lettuce, I don't know why I keep saying carrots, I guess because that's what Heather's harvesting, carrots right now. Once we get these in and watered in good, we should be able to harvest in 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll have plenty of lettuce yet for the market. Plus we got another bed that's going to be ready in about a week. So, and this is only half a bed. This is only about 25 foot-ish roughly of bed. Somewhere near there anyways. These beds are 50 foot long, half of it's kale. And the kale does good. I would rather eat the kale too than the lettuce, and you always got to remember, you got to eat what, or grow what you eat, because you may end up having to eat your inventory. Of course, for the Swiss chard, we always fed it to whatever didn't sell at the market. We always fed to the chickens. And I may grow some next year just for the chickens, but I don't think I'm going to grow any for the market. Last year it sold really well, but this year for some reason it's not. Maybe it's the variety. People don't, I don't know though. This truly depends on who's at the market. Some weeks you get the people that like greens, and some weeks you don't. One thing that is consistent about at the market, lettuce always sells out, green beans and cherry tomatoes. You never have an issue getting rid of any of them products ever at the farm market, or at least the one we attend. You don't anyways. I can't speak for you alls, wherever you all are from, whatnot, but there, she looks pretty good if you ask me. Of course, I'm kind of prejudiced. It is mine. I just did the work, so naturally I think it looks better than most people. So I'm going to get the cedar and the lettuce seeds. We'll get the cedar and the lettuce seeds put in it. So these beds are 30 inches wide, and this actually in both gardens are 30 inches wide. With this one here has 16-inch walkways, and the big one down there has 18-inch walkways. Did that because we grow bigger stuff in that one. This one up here is not quite as big as stuff. We don't put as big as stuff in this one as we do the one down below. But that's why that is. I'm gonna set you on top of my table. I've been keeping my cedar in the greenhouse. Of course, that's where the seeds are as well. So the first thing I need to do is get the lettuce plate, which I don't have one. I don't think there's one just strictly for lettuce. I think I normally use this. Oh, I guess it's no. The one I normally use is for cabbage and whatnot, but the seeds are about the same roughly. Right now I got the bean plate in. And it just turns on, it doesn't, it just falls down in and turns. It's nothing simple, it just goes in them grooves and then you spin it and it locks it in place. I need to set the depth. For lettuce, I like to go about 3/8 of an inch roughly. I think the seed pack calls for quarter, but I usually go just a little bit deeper than the seed pack says. And on your seeders, they have it tells you right there how deep you are. And then this here digs your trench. Then this covers it up and then this packs it down in. So this is your trencher. Seeds fall down through here and they come out this chute right there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but they come out this chute and they land right there. Then this here chain covers them over. Then this here packs them down in. So I'm just going to dump some seeds in and take it over and fill it up. So, like a dum-dum, I set everything up. I set my camera up, filled my seeder full, walked over here, put the seeds in 5 rows, 1 down the middle, 1 down each edge. Let me put you down, I'll show you. As you can see, 1 down the middle, then 1 down each side here at the string, then 1 in between each one. Like the big dummy that I am, I forgot to push the record button when I was walking along with that, but it took me less than 5 minutes to do that whole thing. So yeah, sorry about that. I should have pushed record, but I didn't, and I'm not faking it because it's not worth it. I already got it done. I'm not going back and doing it again. You get the gist. You've all seen me do it before. I showed you my cedar. You can see the lines in the garden. Sorry about that, everybody. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Feel like an idiot the rest of the day, but that is what it is. It's not the first time I ever felt like an idiot. One more thing I wanted to show you all is the seeds the lettuce seeds that I've been using this year. We get most of our stuff from Johnny's. And this here is All-Star Gourmet Lettuce Mix. It says 28 days. That 28 days is after germination to harvest. It's not counting today, isn't 4 weeks, but it's warm out, so they'll germinate quicker. I have a fair many of these seeds left, even in my cedar. Of course, not that you got to see me put them in the cedar, in the ground, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. So then you just dump them right back in the thing. Looks pretty good. And that's all there is to it. So till we meet again, take care and God bless.